All right, guys, welcome to an episode of Dropping Dimes. I'm your host, Lavo Rihanna, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys, so there seems to be some type of issues in La La Land. All right, there seems to be some issues with the defending champs, the LA Lakers. All right, LeBron James is expected to miss the next two games, which are against the Clippers, the rival LA Clippers, and the Portland Trail Blazers. So why is this important? The reason why it's important is because of the fact that, honestly, the Lakers have looked, pretty bad without AD and LeBron while they were on injury. Now that they return, they have to get, reacclimated on how to integrate, AD and Andre Drummond, LeBron into the mix. I mean, they had their scurries on like losing. So I'm right now looking at the screen, and yeah, when LeBron ended up getting hurt, I believe he ended up getting hurt against was it Atlanta? Yeah, right. It was Atlanta. Didn't return, so lost to Phoenix, which was expected. Lost to New Orleans, okay. Lost to Philly, expected. Beat Cleveland, which you have to beat Cleveland. Come on, man. Like, Cleveland hasn't been looked good since LeBron left. Beat Orlando, all right, but that was a close one. That was 96 and 93. That was on March 28th. Lost to Milwaukee, which was expected. I mean, Milwaukee is looking like a title contender in the East. I mean, in the NBA, they're looking like a serious issue in the East. I mean, they have beaten the Brooklyn Nets back-to-back meetings. What do I have to think about that? I mean, it's a little bit more of nothing than anything else because it is the regular season. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been known to put glorified numbers in the regular season, but in the postseason, he's more of a no-show. But anyways, beat Sacramento, okay, expected. Lost to the Clippers, beat Toronto. All right, they were able to beat Brooklyn, which was, at that time, they were very limited. No KD. I know that he was not in that game. No James Harden. I think Kyrie was the only one that was available playing that game. Lost to the Knicks. Beat Charlotte. Lost to Boston. Lost to Utah, which was expected. Beat Utah. Lost to Utah. Lost to Dallas. Beat Orlando. Lost to the Wizards. Beat Sacramento, lost to Toronto, right? And then the other day when AD had to hit that floater to hit the dagger against the Nuggets. So in that whole timeline, that's how everything has been since the injury, and to the point where he ended up coming back. Remember, he ended up coming back. LeBron ended up coming back against the game in Sacramento, which was Friday, April 30th. Didn't look so great. All right, they ended up losing that game. They lost to Toronto, and he ended up leaving the game early due to he ended up re-aggravating that ankle sprain, the right ankle, which kept him back for the extensive time when he ended up getting hurt against the Atlanta Hawks. So for him to feeling that sharp pain, right? Because he described it when he was doing his rehab process that he didn't feel that sharp pain before, felt it right then and there, ended up leaving the game. Toronto ends up winning. They ended up winning by 7. Their leading scorer for that game was Kyle Kuzma, and then Drummond was holding it down with the boards. Kuzma with 24, Drummond with 11. Davis looked better in the Denver game, dropping 25 points. But it's just one of those things. It's like, I see that they're winning. They're beating Denver, which was, they're a hard team. I mean, look. I get the fact that they lost Jamal Murray for the year and possibly the majority of next year because of a torn ACL. But, guys, I mean, it doesn't look really good for the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers are right now, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, I know they're in the 6th seed, but I'm pretty sure they have the same record as the 7th seed, if not a game less, one game better in the loss column. So it's concerning due to the fact that it's like, look, the Lakers, I don't know. I mean, they seem very dependent on LeBron on getting them done. And I said it before. I said it before that the Lakers were going to struggle. The Lakers were going to struggle because of the fact that, that quick turnaround. sure, they won the battle on getting that illustrious, Larry O'Brien trophy. By beating the Miami Heat in 6 games, right? They won that battle, right? Miami is looking, is not looking nowhere near title contention as like the Lakers are, but that quick turnaround, that 77-day turnaround from when they last played up until when they ended up playing on Christmas Day or like a couple days before Christmas Day, it's really showing the fatigue. LeBron's getting hurt. He seems, what's it called, like that moving on forward, he's gonna be, accumulating injuries similar to like this. He made a comment saying that it feels like, he's not gonna be 100% for the rest of his career because, it's gonna be harder for him to heal from these injuries. And I get that. I mean, the guy is like 36, 37 years old. Reason why I didn't really like that comment is because of the fact that he has made complaints. He has cried about, ticky-tack stuff, and it's kind of hard to like really defend him now when he had said these type of things before, when he was completely healthy in his late 20s, early 20s, when he was in his prime. Now that he's in LA, the injuries are starting to get worse. Remember, that first year he ended up having, I believe he had that groin injury where he ended up missing about like 17, 20 games that year. This year, missed an extensive amount of time. The team looks very, LeBron dependent. Kyle Kuzma, Andre Drummond, Dennis Schroeder is out for 10 to 14 days because of safety, protocol. So, I don't know. It's going to get very interesting if the Lakers end up making the play-in tournament, right? If they fall down to the 7th seed. Look out, guys. Look out, because of the fact that if that ends up happening, now more games added for LeBron, right? And the Lakers are going to be, detrimental towards them. Because what did I say before? They had a 77-game turnaround. I mean, a 77-day turnaround from when they last played in the finals up until the start of the season, right? And clearly it's showing, right? That the last thing that they want to do is play more games. And once again, getting back to LeBron, I disagree with what he ended up saying. I think that was very, selfish and foolish on his end on saying that whoever came up with that term, play-in tournament, should be fired. No. Clearly it's working for the NBA. Clearly fans like myself, right? I actually do like the play-in tournament because you know what? It doesn't allow you to rest. It doesn't allow you to take days off, all right? The regular season should matter, all right? It doesn't have to be towards the playoffs where fans have to, look forward to great basketball. Why can't it be towards the ending of the season too, where it's like, all right, the 9th and 10th seed, all right, you guys have a chance of making the playoffs, right? But you have to win these games, all right? You're gonna have to, beat the 9th seed. It has to beat the 10th seed to go into the next round and face the winner of the loser of the 7th and 8th seed. So I really love this this format. It brings a lot of high exciting basketball. Remember last year during the pandemic, the Trailblazers were facing the Grizzlies, and that infamous moment of CJ McCollum crossing over, and yelling into the camera saying that, these guys can't guard me. These guys can't guard me. Well, that was phenomenal. And you know what? That was in a play-in tournament. Now we have the 7th and 8th seed. They're going to be in a play-in tournament. All right. And it's very important for guys to win their games to avoid the play-in tournament, because then it becomes sudden death. It becomes sudden death, and nobody wants to be in a do-or-die situation in the playoffs where you work your tails off, all right, just to get eliminated in one game, all right? This reminds me, right, in a similar fashion of what baseball has with the wild card round. The wild card round is phenomenal in baseball because of the fact that anything can happen, all right? We love football. We love March Madness because you play one game, and you move on. No excuses, all right? You have to get it done that one game, all right? A team can mess up, and they can have a bad game, all right? They can have a phenomenal, great year, right? They fall into the 7th seed, have one bad game. That's it. You're one game away from being eliminated entirely. That's how it is, and that's why I disagree with LeBron. LeBron, that was very selfish of you. The only reason you're saying that is because you and your team are in this situation, let alone, all right? You were injured. Fine, injuries do happen when it comes to the sport of basketball. But you can't blame the NBA that, hey, your team is going to be possibly in the play-in tournament and you're going to cry about it. All right, there are going to be 3 other teams in that play-in tournament with you if you ended up falling down to 7. So don't cry about it. Just play harder, win your games, and then you won't be in that situation. All right. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Honestly, getting back to the schedule for the Lakers. Look, guys, I really don't think that they're gonna be able to beat the Clippers tomorrow night. Don't think they'll be able to beat Portland. I mean, like I said, yeah, the Lakers have 1 less loss than Portland, and that's a very important game on Friday. So there's no way that you're going to see LeBron James playing on any of these back-to-backs because of his ankle. They're going to try to preserve him for the playoffs. But, if the Lakers are able to get a win over Portland, that would be huge. And that would be, a little bit less weight on their shoulders. So they don't have to be breathing heavy, towards the ending of the season. But yeah, guys, I mean, let me know what you guys think. Will the Lakers make the play-in tournament? Will they not make the play-in tournament? All right. How will LeBron's, how would that ankle injury impact LeBron towards the ending of the season and into the playoffs? And do you guys, if the Lakers happen to avoid the play-in tournament, do you guys think they have a chance of winning it all again? Or what round do they get eliminated in? Until then, guys, look, thank you for tuning into Dropping Dimes. I'm your host, Lava Rihanna, and I'll see you guys next time. Please hit the like and subscribe. Please hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Really does help. See you guys. Peace.